Hey everybody, welcome to another model building workshop. I'm Mr. Allen, coming to you from Providence, Rhode Island. I'm part of the Community Libraries of Providence, and we're going to look at the Panzer I Mark B kit from Testa's Italeri and one of its derivatives. Okay, so this is an old kit, an old classic kit, and obviously there have been many other reissues and re-releases of this kit and of newer variants from different model companies of the Panzer I series. Lots of them out there now. But back in the day, when I was a kid, this was it. So this is the Testors line that had the really cool boxing with the great color photos, which I always loved as a kid. It gave me a good idea of how this could look. And this kit was actually the first 1/35th scale tank kit that I tried to build. And maybe I could find that old kit somewhere lying around in the house. But anyway, let's take a look at it. So, it's a typical old Italeri kit. Just got its pros and cons. That's getting an awful lot of glare. There we go. Fluorescent lights in the basement sometimes do that. So here she is. This is the Mark I B. And the 1B is different from the 1A in that it has more road wheels. The 1A is a smaller tank, has a smaller engine, and it has one less road wheel. So that's the main difference between the two. That and the 1A also has a different exhaust system than the B. And the B even has different engine configurations. This one's got a lot of stuff going on there. You could do it with or without that. And as you can see, this has got the white crosses on it. So this is for the Battle of Poland. So this is a rather simple build. I mean, Italeri does have some complexities in how they do like their the running gear. They like to have all the pieces movable and rotate, and they tend to have these little tiny retaining rings that you got to put over the axles to try to make the wheels revolve. That can be rather tedious to some people. I mean, I'm gonna try another one of these, soon. I did this a number of years ago, not that many. And my eyesight was good at the time. I don't know how my eyesight's going to handle these wheels now with those little retaining rings. Who knows? And as you probably noticed, I got sunglasses on and I'm inside. I'm not trying to be Corey Hart. What I'm doing here is I've got a nasty eye infection, but I figured you guys still deserve content, even if I feel terrible, right? Hey, dedication, man, dedication. So this is the 1B with the twin guns, and that's all it's got. Originally, this was designed as a training tank for the new formed German army in 1933-34. So that's what these were for. They're merely meant for training, But then the Spanish Civil War came about, and they were sent with the Condor Legion over to Spain, to try the tank concepts and the new theories that the Germans had out, blitzkrieg tactics, etc., and combined arms. So these things had a use there. And then when the war broke out for real in 1939 with the invasion of Poland and so forth, a lot of these are still in use, and you kind of have to go with what you got. This and the Panzer II, which I got one of those right here, which we talked about this kit before. Another one that was really built as a trading tank, small tank. Though this one's got a 20 millimeter gun, and this one just has the two machine guns in it, and that's it. The other Italeri version that they put out was the command tank. In this case, as you can see, they got rid of the turret and put this boxy, superstructure on top here, which held a radio and a map table, so that a commander could be up on the front lines, keeping abreast of information as it develops on the front lines, and being able to radio and make adjustments to the battle plan right there at the front line. So that's what this was for. Again, this one's also done in a Battle of Poland scheme with the, in this case, they changed the white crosses to yellow to try to make them slightly less visible, because the white crosses made really good aiming points for Polish gunners. And they found out the hard way, as the Polish army had some really good anti-tank guns, and you just zero in on one of those big white crosses and kablam. Especially for armor as thin as was on the Panzer I. This was kind of a quick one to go if you hit it. So let's look at the instructions on these. The old Italeri kit. The Testors one is probably going to be a little bit different, but this is an Italeri one. And in some ways these get a little busy. That's one of the things there. So you get your parts blow up, and then it goes from there. Not terrible, though these blow up diagrams can get a bit busy on Italeri kits. And of course it has rubber band tracks. Now, of course, companies like Dragon have done wonders with this subject later, but back in the 70s and 80s, this is what you had to work with. And it's not that bad a kit overall. I mean, there are some details that could be better. The machine guns, you know, you may want to swap these guns out and kind of go with some better, like, metal options or something that might be better detailed than these are. But, you know, for fun, this isn't bad. So that's the instructions there. And it has a number of different painting options. Well, it's kind of busy, but you're going to take a look at the different types of things you can do with this kit. So, you know, it's got Poland. It's got the Western Front in 1940. It's got North Africa. And it has the Spanish Civil War as well. With some different paint options. And it looks like the command version that I have here, it was really kind of a reboxing from Zvezda. Oops. Got some masking tape still on that. And they basically didn't do too much different with the instruction sheets. So you kind of get an idea there, what's involved with this one. Though I notice I've got a slightly different decal options than what's listed here, so who knows? Maybe I have a different one sitting here than this one. I don't know. So when you have these kits lying around for as long as I've had, sometimes you lose track of what went with what. But you get a few different options here, and what it seems to be here is the 11th Panzer Division. And it looks like the 12th Panzer Division. Which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Well, maybe not. It could be something different. Looks like, no, it looks like it's the 12th. And not sure what that one is. I think it's the same. Yeah, kind of vague instructions on the painting from that. But in any case, you know, that's the Battle of Poland. Whether I just created that, I don't know. But it's typical for a regimental command tank, you know, with the R on it and the yellow marking, and again, there's this one here. So give me 1 second. We'll open up this box and take a look at it from that angle. Hold on just 1 second. All right, so you get the bag full of parts here. There's a tank commander in there with a beret and a greatcoat. Lots of little pieces in here, which is kind of typical for the Italeri kit. There you go. There's decals, which these look like they are in terrible condition. Yeah, these are probably not going to work. This is what happens when you get some of these ancient kits at a store. That looks pretty bad. Although it's not difficult to kit bash and come up with markings for a Panzer I, really. Which looks like what I may have done with a command tank. It's not that hard to come up with. You know, you buy an aftermarket, just standard German marking sheet, and you kind of can create just about anything with it. So, the tester sheet tends to be a little better laid out and better explained. So you get the idea there. So if you can find this version, you know, from testers, you get a better looking kit with a better looking instruction book and some nice photos to work with. Although it doesn't really matter, but this one's probably less of a headache as far as trying to decipher what's going on. And yeah, so this one here that I did, you know, I did it the 1st Panzer Division with the leaf emblem on there. So that's one option. You've got one for Poland, which I think I just showed you on the box cover. There is one for the 7th Panzer Division in France in 1940, and that was commanded by Rommel. Then we have the 5th Panzer Regiment of the 21st Panzer Division in Africa Corps, an overall Sand. And then one for Spain, for the Spanish Civil War. So that's what comes in the box. Anyways, that's a really quick look at the old Italeri Panzer I kits. And if I can find my older one, I'll try to add a picture of it. I had a bit of a flood in this basement recently, so things are kind of all askew. Add that to my infection, and we're having a grand old time. But hey, I want to make sure you guys still had some content, so yeah. Keep on building, all right? Have some fun out there. Yeah, all right, we'll talk to you soon. So I found the one that I built when I was a teenager, a long time ago, and I kept this one. I kept a lot of stuff, but I kept this one in particular because this, like I said, this was the first 1/35th scale model tank kit that I built, which I think held up pretty well considering, you know, and I put a couple of the soldiers on it for added fun. Now, back in the day, I didn't bother painting the kits. I just kept them in the plastic, but I would weather them as I would read the guide on how to weather tanks. It came with the testers, the Italeri kits. They told you how to weather them, so I would try experimenting with that. One thing that the kit could really benefit, this kit, if you see the muffler, it has a rubber grill that goes over it, which is not the best thing. I mean, these days you get photo etch, which makes such a better looking muffler guard than that. But hey, back for the day, that's what they had. So anyway, there's my baby from way back. And it came with the crew member, which, such as it is, not much of a crewman. that they got this based on a picture of General Guderian and the tank troops. I think that seems to be where that's coming from. I could be wrong, but it does remind me of a photo of a book of him inspecting troops. So that's what I'm guessing that is. All right, so that's our episode for today. And again, thanks for watching and thanks for your patience as as I'm going forward with a number of different calamities going on. All right, we'll see you.